Hello and welcome to the 2022 General Assembly. For today's event, the United Nations and the World Bank are convening global leaders to showcase how new partnerships can unlock the power of data to solve the world's most pressing challenges. Why does this matter? Well, today millions of people are suffering from hunger. The climate emergency is raging with floods and fires across the globe. Conflict is disrupting supply chains, hitting the world's most vulnerable hardest. There is so much at stake and so many challenges and new problems emerging every week. But we also know there are solutions. The Sustainable Development Goals set out tangible vision for a better, greener, safer future. Millions of people have made progress, and we have an amazing opportunity to double down and improve billions of lives by 2030. Today's discussions are about how we can connect data, technology, and people in new ways to go further than we ever thought possible. Data, facts, and science are the key to making progress. They help us unlock solutions that are faster, more targeted, more efficient, and more dignified. And in turn, we can realize a vision of a greener, safer, and more equitable future. So here are some of the questions we'll explore with our fantastic lineup of leaders from around the world. Where can data help us unlock the largest potential? What are tangible benefits of data investments? And how do we scale up and get it done? Well, to get us started, please welcome the United Nations Deputy Secretary General, Amina Mohammed, and the World Bank's Managing Director of Development Policy and Partnerships, Mary Pangestu. Welcome to you both. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us this morning. You've both been, of course, strong advocates for facts, data, and science in the service of people and planet. At the World Bank spring meetings, you launched a Data with Purpose campaign to get more stakeholders involved. Madam Deputy Secretary General, let me start with you. Set the scene for us, if you can. Why do we need investment in data with purpose?
Thank you, Folly, for having us, and it's great to be with Mary. The data journey started quite a long time ago in 2015 when we said we wanted to leave no one behind on the 17 goals. It was very clear that data was going to play an incredible role in helping us to navigate where we were going, who we were talking about, and how to get to them. And so I think that when we crafted the pathway to that, it was first of all to see where were we on data. Lots of data, but all of it pretty much at the surface. And to leave no one behind, you had to have disaggregated data, you had to have it in a timely manner. And so for us, the 17 goals were the framing. Today, we are so far off track, one crisis after another. If it is about COVID and we do not know the full impacts of that, even if we have the data, we don't have it sufficiently to help us to build back better. We have a crisis with climate, and with climate, so many displacements, so many needs for us to establish data when we are transitioning on the energy, on the food systems. So lots more reasons to have data. Do we have it? Today we do. We have a lot of data, but we don't have it sufficiently to tell us that we are leaving no one behind. Third piece, I think, is that we don't have the financing to get behind the needs for data. And there is so much technology today that we can deploy it. We can find between statistics and big data where people are, what they're doing, how to make better investments, more efficiency, because resources, of course, are not all there. And so that makes it a big difference. So today, halfway through the SDGs, if we want to say where we are and where we need to be, data will be an integral part of it.
Right.
And so that for us is a priority.
So still a lot of progress that needs to be done.
A lot of progress, a lot of investments, right. And it is exciting. We believe that with the number of facilities we have and the initiatives that are being put in place on the ground today, we're better than we were in 2015. But how to scale that up and to make sure we truly can, midway through the SDGs next year, just give the story of what we need to do to fill the glass.
Ms. Pangestu, let me bring you into the conversation. Tell us what the UN World Bank partnership is hoping to accomplish.
Yes, thank you. Really good to be here with my sister Amina. I think we should really ask ourselves the question again, data for purpose. What's the purpose? The purpose is obviously the impact we desire for achieving the SDGs and leaving no one behind. So you need data for purpose. It's not just about collecting data. And having data that allows us to come up with the right policies that will reach the right people. At the right time. You know, it's about fast delivery in the emergency situation. It's about making sure we are targeting the right people so that no one is left behind. And this is why the partnership is so important, not just for the collecting of data, but making sure that we're collecting data that has this impact. We have made progress. I'll just give you an example why investing in data is important with impact for development. During this crisis, we have been able to monitor what is the underlying causes of these different crises on poverty. For instance, we know that more than 100 million people will enter into extreme poverty because of the pandemic. We know that for every 1% increase in food prices, 10 million more people will go into poverty. And we also know that 130 million more people will enter into extreme poverty if we don't address the climate crisis. This enables us to design policies and allow the policies and programs that build up resilience as well as address those in the poverty pockets. But we know more needs to be done.
Needs to be done.
Yeah, because 1 out of 5 African countries, for instance, don't have death registry. So we don't even know. We are only estimating the number of deaths. We don't have data by gender disaggregation. So we know women and girls are most impacted in this crisis, but we don't have the data for it. And 2/3 of African countries, 1/3, half of Latin American countries have postponed the population census because of lack of budget. So we know much more needs to be done, and this is why we need to come together. UN and the World Bank have come together in this partnership, and we are calling many other, all our development partners, private sector, all stakeholders. We need to come together to do this, to address the need, the underfunding of data, statistics, and ecosystems, and also how to use it for impact.
DSG, let me ask you, how do new approaches to data already shape and transform the day-to-day workings of your organization, the United Nations, in its work in the service of people and planet?
Well, we're in over 130 countries around the world, and so our country teams use data to accompany the support that we give to governments. And very specifically, I can say that when COVID came along and we had to have the response to that, targeting for cash transfers, particularly programs that were going to women, were going to children, helping children get online and connectivity, all that data played a very big role, and technology and young people. And so connecting the partnerships, making sure that young people are there with us, and that the teams on the ground that we have are able to collect the data and to use it effectively to support governments. Targeted investments are really important. And that can only happen if you know where people are. And I think with our country teams in health, in education, cash, as we say, cash transfer programs, in the transition we're doing to renewables, because you're going to rural areas and you want to make the most of an integrated response, the data is really critical to that.
All right, Ms. Pangestu, a final thought from you before we move on. Briefly, if you can.
Basically, we need to do more, and in each of our own organizations, we are doing more. The World Bank has provided $1 billion for 125 countries to build up their data and data ecosystems, as well as now moving forward another $1.3 billion. But that's hardly enough, and we really need everybody to step up on the investing of data, because investing in data is going to unlock the impact that we need to make sure that no one is left behind.
Thank you both for your responses, and please stay with us. Now, let us take a moment to see some of this work in action. Our focus here is on the most urgent and serious challenge of our time, fighting global hunger on an unprecedented scale. Take a look.